Since the formation of landmasses on Earth, the Earth had witnessed about 4 great extinction impacts since its creation. Some of which are the asteroid impacts that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. The eruption of the Mount Toba in Indonesia 74,000 years ago, which is the largest eruption that ever occurred for the past 25 million years, and is responsible to have wiped out 75% of life species on Earth. The largest ice age that ever happened on Earth, called the Neoproterozoic glaciation 850 to 635 million years ago. And the Yellowstone volcanic eruption, which occurred 640,000 years ago and caused the disappearance and extinction of many species, especially in the North American continent. All these types of impacts keeps scientists unrest and to always do investigation and monitoring the effects of disastrous impacts events. One of the highest scientific fascinating places of concern is the Yellowstone volcano, due to its increase in seismic and volcanic activities over the last decades. As reported recently by the Yellowstone National Park System Alert, there is a sudden 250% increase in seismic and volcanic activities in the region. Does this mean the Yellowstone volcano is up to something? Well, we're future destiny. Join us as we uncover the mysteries of the cosmos. The Yellowstone volcano is one of the fascinating phenomenon when it comes to the field of scientific focus. Throughout human history, series of volcanic eruptions had occurred on Earth, with some killing tens of thousands, like the eruption that took place in the Anak Krakatoa, an Indonesia island, causing the death of over 36,417 death record. In scientific terminology, volcanicity, just like earthquake and tsunamis events, are not something to be careless of, but to take into consideration, serious investigation, monitoring and mitigation strategies, if any. Since the last 3 decades, there have been a potential increase in seismic and volcanic activities in the Yellowstone region, where some areas witnessed high seismic activities like earthquakes, potential volcanic explosions, and the swelling of landmasses in some areas. Since 1973, the Yellowstone had witnessed over 48,000 earthquakes, with about 6 of them having over 4.0 magnitude. One of the most prominent is that which occurred in the Norris-Giza Basin with a magnitude of 4.8, and its activities were seen in most parts of Montana and Wyoming states. While some of these earthquakes are invisible or unnoticeable to visitors and tourists, they are captured with a monitoring equipment that was installed in this zone by the United States Geological Survey team. More to that, the University of Wyoming, Utah and Montana states also play a key role in monitoring the activities of Yellowstone volcano. According to experts, the Yellowstone region witnesses an average of 1,200 to 3,000 earthquakes each year, though majority of them has magnitudes less than 4. For this reason, there's a high risk of any habitation, including animals, in the Yellowstone National Park, which occupies the states of Wyoming, Montana and Idaho states. This high rate of seismic activities has increased chances of potential explosion in the region. Recently, scientists has detected a more than 4 feet uplift in land masses in the western part the Yellowstone Plateau. This is as a result of an increase in underground molten materials called magma. Since 2014, experts have predicted an increase in the volume of magma beneath the surface of the Yellowstone volcano, and for this reason, it is responsible for the uplifting of the soil, caused by high thermal activities. For this reason, many scientists predict the possibility of a potential hydrothermal eruption which might only affect the Yellowstone region itself. But however, there of such eruptions had occurred in the Yellowstone region since 1950s as a result of increased seismic activities in the region. It is however important to note that, it won't take a long time for a severe and massive supervolcano to blow up, since the Yellowstone volcano has erupted 3 major times since 2.1 million years ago, with eruptions interval of 600,000 to 800,000 years. Notable, the last eruption took place 640,000 years ago. For this reason, the Yellowstone volcano keeps terrifying scientists as to when will the 4th major eruption blow up. Another aspect of a prominent volcanic eruption in this zone is the steamboat geyser, which has been erupting unstoppable. It is the largest active geyser in the world, and according to scientists, spilling of hot spring as a result of underwater boiling caused by thermal heating is high. The steamboat geyser has been erupting intensely since the last 2 decades, when it got worse in 2018, erupting over 33 times in the year, and even doubled in 2019 by 48 times, making it 81 times this event happened. Since then, the eruption of this geyser has been a constant phenomena, erupting at least once a week, making it one of the most active geysers in the world with its continuous eruption. Though the steamboat geyser is the most active geyser in the region, the Yellowstone has other major geysers like the Grand Geyser, the Beehive Geyser, and the Old Faithful Geyser. These structures are formed when water seeps deep into the ground, where it is heated by magma. The heated water then rises into the surface, where it is forced through cracks in the rocks. The pressure of the water caused the rock to erupt as a result of high combustion of the water, which led to rock expansion. Geysers are different from volcanoes because with volcanoes, magma rises to the surface. However, geysers are not as common as volcanoes, since they can be found only in few places in the globe. The Yellowstone is home to the largest geysers concentration in the world. If magma forces water to spill out of the surface as a result of increase in geothermal conditions, this implies the concentration of molten materials is high. The reason for the high concentration of magma in this region is because the Yellowstone volcano is located at the margin of the 2 great plate movements of North America and Pacific plates, which are bypassing and scrubbing against each other. The continuous scrubbing stimulates and generates thermal disintegration of rock particles, which increases molten materials, melting the rocks that were once normal solid rocks, and undergo mantle bubbles caused by the heat and constriction of these 2 plates' margins. The more the intensity of these plates' movement, the more likely solid rocks will melt, and the more likely the activities of Yellowstone volcano increases. It has been recorded that over 90% of the world's volcanic eruptions are caused by plate movements, which are either liable to subduction, leading to continental imbalance and creation of gaps and cracks beneath the crust, or it is caused by constriction in bypassing or conservative plate margins. The Yellowstone Alert System just signals a sudden 250% increase in all the previous activities ever recorded in the region since the last 3 decades. Some of which includes a sudden change in the chemical composition of nearby streams, increases in the combustion rate of hot spring, where their temperature rises up to above 200 degrees Celsius, making it 2 times hotter than normal water boiling points. And the sudden 4 feet annual increase in land masses in the West Yellowstone Plateau, caused by increased geothermal magma movements beneath the surface. The uplifting of land masses in the region has been increasing since 1950 by 2.5 centimeters per year, doubling the amount in 2014 in the Yellowstone Plateau. The major reason for the doubling of the uplifting of the land masses in the plateau is because, beneath the plateau lies a mantle plum called the Yellowstone Hotspot, rising from the mantle and forces the crust to bulge upward. This is responsible for the formation of the Yellowstone Plateau, which was formed about 5 million years ago, and will continue to form for millions of years to come, until the Yellowstone becomes dormant. However, there's no sign or prediction of future dormant volcano in the Yellowstone region until the 2 plates of North America and Pacific completely bypass each other. More to that, this process takes a very long time, since these 2 plates bypass each other with an annual rate of 1.5 inches or 3.8 centimeters per year, which means it may take up to hundreds millions years for these 2 plates to completely bypass each other. However, as long as these 2 plates still bypass each other, there's a high risk of potential explosion, since molten materials are stimulated whenever these 2 plates scrub each other. It is even worse because the Yellowstone volcano is at a younger age of its activities with fresh and unlimited molten materials. For this reason, the Yellowstone System Alert Team has put in monitoring measures on the activities of the volcano. This is done to prevent what happened in the Krakatoa Islands, near the island of Java in Indonesia, where a massive volcanic eruption broke out in 1883, traveling a distance of about 5,000 kilometers or 3,100 miles away, as far as Australia. Its worst disaster was the trembling of landmasses in the main island and underwater, triggering an earthquake which caused a massive tsunami reaching a height of up to 130 feet or 40 meters high from the sea level in some places, causing the death of over 36,417 people in the nearby islands, making it one of the worst deadly tsunamis ever recorded in history. The eruption led to 1-degree fall in average temperatures, as it released gases that blocked sunlight penetration for months and created a blanket of gases in the atmosphere, trapping solar heat penetration. The destruction caused by this volcano has made scientists to understand the power of volcanic eruptions, since the Krakatoa was one of the first massive volcanic eruption that took people unaware, due to lack of monitoring. From this volcano, scientists learned to monitor the activities of volcanoes, in order to avoid being caught up. It is however important to know, that volcanoes, just like atomic bombs, volcanoes are series of compressed molten materials, caused by the constriction of two plates. But unlike atomic bombs which only cause destructions, volcanoes can as well construct. Example can be the creation of the Yellowstone caldera 640,000 as a result of the explosion of the land masses, and it's known for its unique features being one of the most beautiful natural occurring touristic sites in the world. Also, the formation of geysers, which only exists in few places in the world, is a scientific place of interest. And such can be used to generate electricity. Despite all these, if a volcano like the Yellowstone volcano wants to be deadly, it can be dangerous as 1,000 atomic bombs that were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the 1945 World War II. And this can be understood as the Yellowstone is blowing up. Therefore one can say, it is unsafe to visit the Yellowstone National Park at this moment, due to its terrifying signs of unrest. But, did you know? You can as well monitor the activities of Yellowstone outside the dead zone using your telescope. I think this can help you in periods of great danger. Just check the link in the description below, and thanks for joining till the end of this episode. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe.